Now at 5 on WHAS 11 News on this gorgeous but very cold winter day. Just in late today. Good news. JCPS going back to those school buildings tomorrow. Normal school is back after 2 days of NTI. The buses are going to be rolling in the morning. All students and staff will be back in the classroom. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us at 5. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Shay McAllister, but our winter weather isn't over yet. Christina San Juan joins us now. Christina, such a cold start to the day. How are we looking now?
Yeah, some folks down to the south actually woke up to real temperatures this morning that were in the negatives. We had -7-degree readings, not wind chills, but your actual air temperature waking up this morning. But thankfully, we have at least somewhat recovered, close to 30 degrees right now, at least a huge improvement from what we've seen the last 3 afternoons. Plus, that sunshine certainly does not hurt. We're holding on to 30 degrees, even just shy of that freezing mark around Jasper, Indiana. But the wind chill does pack quite a bit of a punch for us, as it's still feeling like it's 18 right now in Jasper, and it feels like 10 in E-Town. 12 is your wind chill temperature reading there in Hodgenville. We do have winter weather advisory thanks to the light snow that we're expecting to move into Kentuckiana tomorrow afternoon and through our Friday morning. Now, this includes all of the WHAS 11 viewing area. It goes into effect at noon tomorrow. So let's get you started on Futurecast this evening. Temperatures just going to be falling down into the upper teens and lower 20s. Yes, still a bitterly cold start to the day, but again, not nearly as bad as the last couple of mornings have been. Clouds will start to fill in through the course of the morning ahead of that snow that's going to be starting up for us right around 5, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, and mainly on the Kentucky side of the river, but then going to be spreading across all of Kentucky. And I'll tell you just how much snow you can expect to see in just about 15 minutes, guys.
Christina, thank you. Do you know what today is? It's the 30th anniversary of the winter storm of '94 that brought Kentuckiana to a halt, but also brought out the very best in all of us. Stay with us. We're going to be dedicating our 5:30 newscast to that giant storm. We're also going to be joined by a surprise live guest in just a few minutes. But happening right now, I64 eastbound is still shut down just east of downtown Louisville. It was a deadly, fiery crash involving semis and cars early this morning on I64 right outside of the Cochran Hill tunnels.
It involved 5 vehicles, 2 semis, 2 cars, and a garbage truck. We want to give you a look here at our video from the Sky 11 drone. Traffic is now flowing. Traffic flowing there on I64 West heading toward downtown as Louisville crews dismantled the wreck on the eastbound side. You can still see there quite a mess. Our
Ian Hardwitt and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton bring us a closer look at the scene. They were right on top of the Cochran Hill tunnels.
We're on top of Cochran Hill's tunnels, and behind me you can see the scene of a crash that closed down both lanes of I-64 into the early morning. It's up here. We talked to a woman who lived nearby who woke up around 5 a.m. to the sound of the crash.
I heard the garbage truck, and I thought, what is the garbage truck doing at the middle of the night getting garbage? And then I heard another sound like a can opener. It's a metal sound.
Higher up from the Sky 11 drone, you can see the scorched front ends of the semi-trucks and crews slowly dismantling the now frozen wreck while traffic continues to flow in the westbound lane headed toward downtown Louisville. Before dawn, Louisville Fire deployed what they called the Red Dragon, literally fighting fire with fire as they struggled against the single-digit cold to keep water flowing. After battling the blaze down, ice froze the trailers and cargo to the road.
We don't have hydrants on the interstate. When you've got multiple vehicles that are on fire, water supply becomes an issue, but our crews were able to get up there, get some unconventional ways of getting water to put out those fires.
LMPD's traffic unit is investigating the crash. The 5-vehicle pileup ultimately killed one of 2 semi-truck drivers. FedEx tells us in a statement they are cooperating fully with the investigating authorities at this time. In Cherokee Gardens, Ian Hardwitt, WHAS 11, on your side.
Now, almost 12 hours later, take a look at this. This is a live look at the area, and you can see traffic still being detoured off onto Grinstead. It is not a pretty sight over there.
Again, eastbound lanes on the left side of your screen. You can see westbound's been moving pretty well today. Eastbound lanes, again, still closed at the moment. And the firefighting effort also caused a lot of the roadway to freeze again in our Arctic air. We're keeping an eye on it for you. And by the way, if you have our WHAS 11 app, we'll send you an alert once I-64 eastbound reopens. Well, just a few minutes before that crash today, Louisville firefighters were busy with a two-story apartment fire at 33rd and West Market Street in West Louisville. Fire crews rescued 3 people from inside. One of the 3 folks there had to be taken to the hospital.
Fortunately, one occupant that was in the room of origin was rushed to the hospital, currently in critical condition. But crews were able to contain the fire to that room of origin so it didn't spread. The other people are getting warm in our vehicles, and Red Cross will be there to help them with shelter if they need it.
That's Louisville Fire Chief Brian O'Neill. He says the department sees an increase in fires this time of year when the temperatures drop so rapidly. He's asking you to be very careful about using unsafe methods to stay warm and also be careful with space heaters. If you need to warm up, the department recommends heading to one of the 2 shelters in Louisville with white flags in place. That's Wayside Christian Mission and the Salvation Army Center for Hope.
Now we turn to southern Indiana, where 2 teenagers were found unresponsive in a car in Seymour. Police say a 16-year-old boy died in the car. An 18-year-old woman was hospitalized. Investigators now believe carbon monoxide played a role. Seymour police say the discovery came Tuesday morning on Shield Avenue. At that time, they say Kelly Rendon still had signs of life and was rushed to the hospital, but Pascal Philippe Miguel was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators say they're looking into the car as they wait for the toxicology results.
Right here in Kentucky, state House leaders in Frankfort have revealed their proposed budgets for the coming year. And while they do prioritize a boost to educational funding, they don't go as far as to guarantee those teacher raises you've heard so much about. The GOP budget proposal calls for more money to both the state's funding formula for K-12 schools and for student transportation. If passed, it would be up to the districts to decide how to spend that increased funding. In Governor Andy Beshear's proposal, he asked for an 11% raise for teachers and universal pre-K. Instead of preschool, Republican lawmakers are calling for additional funds to maintain higher reimbursement for providers. House Speaker David Osborne of Prospect says lawmakers will strongly suggest to administrators that school personnel deserve and need the raises. Our Isaiah Kim Martinez will be here with us at 6 with more reaction to where lawmakers are moving on this.
2 young women have filed a lawsuit against a state-run juvenile detention facility. The women say they were neglected, abused, and deprived of health care and basic hygiene and more. Jemiah Kennedy and Will O'Neill are the plaintiffs in the suit. The claims date back to 2022 when both women were at the Adair Regional Juvenile Detention Center. Now they are out of the state's custody and are both adults. They say during their time there, they were held in isolation for months, unable to take showers. Both women say they took fewer than 20 showers each over the course of those months. They also say girls were not given access to period products. The women allege they did not receive mental health care and the detention staff would withhold medication as punishment. Multiple people are now named in this suit, including Vicki Reed, the former juvenile justice commissioner who resigned at the start of the year, the superintendent of the Adair County facility, and the state's justice and public safety secretary, Carrie Harvey, also named. Harvey is set to retire at the end of the month. The Department of Juvenile Justice sent us this statement saying, quote, "Neither the cabinet nor DJJ has been served with this lawsuit. However, we have obtained a copy and reviewed the complaint. DJJ works tirelessly to provide safe and effective services to the juveniles in its care. For any staff member who violates policy and procedure, corrective action is taken." They also denied the allegations addressed in the lawsuit.
The former president and CEO of the Louisville Urban League died on Tuesday of this week. Ben Richmond served as the organization's president for quite a while, from 1987 to 2015. The current league leader, Lyndon Pryor, talked with us last night about the impact that Richmond had on our city, especially in the business world.
Because Ben's focus during his tenure was so much about business and getting business to do the equitable thing. In the building of the Yum Center, Ben ensured that the spend with minority contractors was as high as it could be, and the highest at that time in all of Kentucky, in all of Kentucky's history.
We talked with the Louisville Urban League again late this afternoon, and the CEO there, Lyndon Pryor, says arrangements are still pending and that they will announce them once finalized. And Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has announced the public funeral for J. Michael Brown. He served many roles in our state: district court judge, deputy attorney general under the Attorney General Andy Beshear, and recently chief of staff at Simmons College of Kentucky. He was also here on WHAS11 News many times over the years as a political and legal analyst. The funeral for J. Michael Brown will be in the Capitol Rotunda on this coming Saturday at 1 p.m. In addition to the service, Governor Beshear has ordered all flags at half-staff all day on Saturday.